Hey y'all, it is Asia, the Fumbling Farmer out here in Zone 8A in kind of central North Carolina. I am going to do kind of a tour and a working video this time. So we're starting on my deck and I'm just going to show you some things that I'm excited about up here and then we'll go and get to work. So let's see. I like that the sweet potatoes are doing well. It's getting into that hot weather season. Something is kind of nibbling on them a little bit, so I got to keep an eye out for that. But it's getting into that hot weather season, so sweet potatoes should be happy. My Mexican sour gherkins or my cucamelons, they still look so fragile, y'all. And I don't know why. I don't know why they look so fragile. But they are starting to kind of branch out and hold on to like the railing and stuff up here. I'm trying to train them to kind of go onto the railing, and my hope is that they'll continue to go along. All right, my basket flower is about to bloom, which I'm super excited. Look at how cool that looks. Looks like it's straw. How does it feel? It feels like straw. I think it's supposed to burst open into bloom, so that's exciting. I planted a patio snacker cucumber, and it is kind of holding on here and starting to get some flowers. I had a tomato ground cherry in here, or pineapple ground cherry in here, but I moved it because I wanted everything to have more space. My lychee tree like burst out with a whole bunch of growth at the very top here. So usually it'll get 1 or 2 new leaves at a time, and it just like this whole section here is new growth where it's green. See the brown stuff there, and then the green is new growth. So I was excited about that. I did find a huge leaf-footed bug on it, and I had to dispose of that. But that's good. This planter here, I have to put more stuff in it. Like the chives are still going along. These little things are ridiculous. Get off there. They always hop at me and freak me out. I guess the kale is going along. The parsley's here. My cilantro keeps on trying to go to seed. The Thai basil tries to go to seed. This lettuce is probably bitter, but I like how it looks, so there it is. And then I cleaned all the lettuce out of those last 2 things, and I have to put something in there. I don't know what to put in there, though. That will grow well now and grow in that space. So it's like this thing is good for like lettuce and radishes and like small cooler weather crops, but I'm not sure what to put in there now. So we'll see. My native North Carolina hibiscus has buds on it, so I'm excited about that. My caraway plant went to seed, and these are drying on here now, so they'll be ready to harvest soon. What else? My mint's looking good. This is bee balm over here looking good. Oh yeah, my tomato ground cherry plant over here has little thingies on it, y'all. Where is it? Right here. So we just wait for those, and it has flowers and it's growing. So I'm excited about that. So we just wait for these to kind of, the husks to turn kind of like a papery color. And usually they'll fall off. That's why they're called ground cherries. That's how you know when they're ready. So yeah, I'm ready for those to come. Those are so delicious. They never make it to like an actual dish. They always end up getting eaten like right away when I see them. So last year I had them planted down in the garden, but they're also a favorite with the other creatures as well. Okay, so what are we finna do today? Let's take a walk through here. Yesterday I came out here and I dumped one of these containers out into the wheelbarrow where I had some extra black cow manure, and I took this was planted with one of the bergamot up there that I just showed you in one of the pots, but I was like, it's not growing because there's too much stuff going on, so I put it in its own little container. So that's what I did yesterday. The anise hyssop is going crazy. There's just 3 plants taking up the whole world. This is nasturtium and Minnesota midget melon. I'm trying to get it to grow up the trellis here. So hopefully I can make that happen. I did have the pot hanging somewhere up there, but I noticed that it was actually making the trellis lean, so I just took it off. All right, let's keep on going through here. Here's a random tomato. These were there. I had a couple tomatoes that didn't fit in the tomato trellis I had built over there, so I just put them on the edges of this trellis here. There's a tomato plant here, and there's a tomato plant here. And they're looking pretty good. My green beans, these are actually red beans, but red green beans, I don't know. But they are starting to look decent in there. And there's quite a few coming up. The only problem with this bed, like look how sparse it is. And it's kind of because it's growing very close to this tree. And this tree will find dirt and send its little roots into it. Like I had to here, I'm going to show you the ground here. Those are all roots that were growing into those pots. Let me go around that way. I'm going to show you the bottom of that pot. There it is. Like look down here. So all those are in there, and all the dirt in here is held together by those roots. Like it's filled with roots right there. And so I guess that's what I think is some maple tree maybe. And I guess that's what they do, is they send their little roots out. Any fresh dirt they can find, they go ahead and snatch it up. And so I think this bed being especially close, like all the beds have issues with roots being in them, but this bed being especially close really, really has it. So I don't know what to do about that, other than maybe move the bed someplace else. But we'll see. We'll see how many green beans I can get out of it. And maybe beans is what I plant in there. Or maybe I just plant them closer together and plant more of them. It also doesn't always get, like, you see how this part of the bed is in the shade? So those get like morning light. It gets some afternoon light from over there. I do want to kind of trim those branches down so that more light comes through. Anywho, all right, let's keep going. This was not supposed to be a garden tour. I have a random squash there. My hibiscus roselle flowers are looking good. This stuff is ready to go. All my brassicas are really ready to go. They don't really need to be here anymore. I pulled up the sweet peas, not the sweet peas, but the peas, snap peas, and I put in some cucumber plants here. These are lemon cucumber plants. I put in a melon and a butterfly pea and another kind of melon, I think. These radishes are ready to come up. I just don't know what I want to plant in there yet still. That's that. Here's my sweet little fig tree. All right. Over here, what happened? This is broccoli. I don't think it's going to do anything because it's just too hot. The only reason it's not like going to seed right now is because it is back here in the back of my garden, gets the most shade. When the sun goes over there-ish, it'll get some shade. I mean, some light, but it gets a lot of shade. I just put some random squashes in here. They do have flowers on them. When I planted my squash bed over there, I put 3 seeds in each little planting space. And then if any extra seeds if all 3 of the seeds came up, I just separated them and moved them to other spots. So I have a lot of random, like there's a squash in there. There's 2 squash here. There's a squash in that bed. So I just moved them to random spots to see what would happen. All right. So that's that. This is my artichoke. Like, the rain has not been kind to it, and then something dug that one up, so it's kind of getting its life back together again. So we'll see what happens with that. These are my garlic chives. Then we have peppers and cucumbers and stuff over there. But hold on, I'm where I want to be, so let me take y'all back over here. All right, don't judge me. Look at the spiders just be digging up. Okay, this is where I want to be. Okay, what do we need today? It is supposed to get, well, it's been raining for like the last forever. And I'm supposed to have been fertilizing every 2 weeks. But I have missed like 2 weeks worth of fertilizing. because, oh, I'm always scared to reach in here. Oh, that's not as much left in here as I had hoped. Oh dear. What else is down here? That's the flower stuff. Earthworm castings. Alright, I guess I'm going to be using this, which is fine. Garden tone. Okay. Anyway, so I have not been able to fertilize like I have wanted to, just because it's been raining, and I want to put the water soluble fertilizer out here, and that requires water, and it didn't make sense to add water to water, and then the water would just get, the fertilizer would just get stripped away by whatever the rain fell. So I was like, I gotta wait. Today, Saturday, is 75 degrees right now. Supposed to get up into the 90s later in the day, which is why I was trying to get out as early as possible. I didn't get out as early as I wanted to. I wanted to get out at 8 o'clock, but it's closer to 9 now. Anyway, but we're going to make it work for us. So, Lord, my train of thought is all over the place. It's off the tracks, y'all. The train is off the tracks. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I am fertilizing. Okay, so I haven't fertilized in a while, and I have a little notification on my phone that says fertilize, fertilize, fertilize every 2 weeks, and I've only done it once since May. I did it once in early May, and then I just haven't gotten out again. So today is a fertilized day, but I was going to fertilize anyway, even if it wasn't. So my goal is to go around and fertilize and water all the plants. I want to put some bone meal in, and I want to put what is it called? The Alaska fish fertilizer. Hold on. Oh, sorry. The Alaska fish fertilizer. So I'm going to try to do both of these. When I run out of bone meal, because there's less in here than I thought I had, I'm going to put in the garden tone stuff. So that is my plan. And it's going to take y'all with me and kind of show you what's going on, and then do a little work, and then show you what's going on, and then do a little work. So I hope you hang out with me for a little bit more. Let us keep going. All right, here we are. I'm going to be mixing up the fish fertilizer now. So it's not really too much of an exact science. I just put a little bit of water in there so the fertilizer stuff does not get stuck to the bottom. Actually, I'm going to put y'all down while we do this because I need both hands. I am not skilled where I can mix fertilizer one-handed. So I'll do it like this. That's good. Okay. And I realized I should have shook this up too. It does get really gunky, and the whole neighborhood's gonna smell. But it's also really good. I also do this fertilizing in the morning because the raccoons love it. I think it's like the fish smell to it. And one time I had left my little cabinet where I store all the fertilizers open, and they came in and like gnawed the top off of this bottle and got fish fertilizer drunk. But also, if I put it on at nighttime, then they come and dig up all the beds and try to figure out where the smell is coming from. So I just put a little dollop in there. I spray off any that's leaking on the outside, and then fill up the rest of the container. And then I'm just going to keep this over here, and every time it gets empty, we'll come and do a refill, a dollop, and then fill it up. Okay, there we go. It's nice and frothy at the top, and we are ready to take up and head over to our first working space, which is going to be the peppers. The jalapeno peppers, I planted them out a little bit later than anything else because I didn't have the dirt and the stuff all ready, the pots ready for them. So they're a little smaller than anything else in my garden. They also got eaten by slugs which while that was happening, I was like, I'm going to tell myself it's a good thing and that they'll grow back bushier, which is kind of what's happening. They're like bushier at the tops from where they were eaten off. And we still have some slug damage. I came out yesterday and put more Sluggo down. It was just hard to come out with it raining, and I didn't want to put the stuff down when it was raining. So today what we're going to do is, I think since these are not super duper flowering yet, I'm just going to move the mulch to the side. I am going to take some of the Garden Tone fertilizer and just put it around the base, kind of rub it in with my fingers. I'm going to put the mulch back, and then once I'm done doing this with all the plants, just putting the fertilizer around the base like that, the slow release fertilizer, then I'll come through again with my fish fertilizer and just put that in there too. Kind of water it in a little bit. They are still a little wet from all the rain that we've been getting, but I think they'll be fine. So let's go ahead and just work a little bit. One has little mushrooms. I found this one has little mushrooms grown in it, which is a good sign for the soil health in there. Still gonna add a little more to it though. All right, we are done with that. Just wanted to show y'all this. It's so cute. Look at the little inchworm. Oh, look how cute that is. I don't think I'm going to leave it there because cute still eats my plants. So I'll move it someplace out front and put down a tree out front. That's what I think I'll do. But these are all done right now. All right. So now we're going to move on to the cucumbers. So here's my cucumber plant, or one set of my cucumber plants. I planted them all over the place and at varying times. So you can see lots of flowers on here. There's bees. Where's that bee guy go? Anyway, there was just a bee here swarming around, flying around. So I have cucumbers forming. There's one. There's one on these plants here. I don't think I want that guy on my plant, so I flick him off. My bug control this year, I don't know if that's a good guy or a bad guy. What do y'all think? He kind of looks good guy-ish, actually. So I think I'm going to leave him there. At some point, I will Google and see if I should have or not, and then I'll know for next time. All right, there's a little spider up. I don't know if y'all could see him crawling around there. You see him on that? He was on that leaf. Yeah, so I let him do his thing because I get the little jumpy bugs all over the place. Let's see what else. Some little guy in that flower pollinating. So I like to see that. Not all bugs are bad. A lot of them are good. But there's a bunch of cucumbers in varying stages of development on here. So now what I'm going to do is, I had been trying to grow dill at the base, and it had been like little tiny plants but they look weak, and so I'm just going to give up because I want to get this mulched, especially with the hot weather coming. I want to get these things mulched. I hadn't mulched them because I wanted to give the dill a chance. So I'm going to put the fertilizer in here, fish fertilizer too, and then mulch these. That's the goal right now. All right, let's go. Oh, and I'm also going to prune off a couple of the lower leaves that don't look too great. Gotta mix more of this stuff. I'll be right back. So these are now fertilized. Leaves trimmed off. This bee was very concerned about what I was doing. He was buzzing around there. I had to tell him, hey buddy, it's okay. Now he can get back to sipping on the flowers. Oh, he went up to the lemon tree. Anyway, so these are done, mulched pretty well. I see a little spot there. So for these 100-degree days that are coming up, I'm still going to come out and water them probably daily, especially being in these grow bags. They dry out really fast. So I'll come out every day, but otherwise, I'm thinking that they look pretty good. All right. Yeah, cucumbers, and hopefully I'll get some cucumbers soon. The cucumbers are also something that never, like I have to specifically save them in order to be able to make like pickles or anything, because my middle daughter loves cucumbers and she just takes them and eats them like carrots. All right, so next we have our tomatoes. So tomatoes are looking pretty good. I have a lot of these set up there in different various shades of formations and shades of yellow. I've already harvested off a couple of the plants in the back. I do have some concerning stuff, like the leaves are kind of curling up on this San Marzano a little bit. It's my first time growing it, and it kind of has like these yellow spots on here. So I'm going to do some pruning of those lower leaves, some pruning of these leaves. This plant right here is just has disease on it. It's just struggling. Like the fact that those up there at the top of the plant are already not doing well is not a good sign. So I think what I'm actually going to do, okay, y'all ready for this? I think I'm going to rip this plant up. This plant here, while it has some sign of disease on it, I'm going to clip those off because everything else going up looks pretty healthy. Look how huge that doggone thing is too. Anyway, it looks pretty healthy, so I think I am just going to clip off the lower ones there. But then it also started growing this second plant from its base. So I think I'm going to clip that off and then plant it in there after I pull that one up. But I'm also going to go around and do the same thing with fertilizer at the base. And then in the middle here, I have marigolds, basil, all down the middle as well. So those are just, I'm not going to give those the slow release fertilizer, but everything is going to get fish fertilizer. So let me get started on what I can get started on now, and then we'll work on all the other stuff too. So this is going to be a large project right now. I'm glad I'm getting to it early in the day, because this bed does get sun all day long. But I think I'm getting to it early enough where it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, let's go. All right, the hardest part of that was getting off the daggone plastic things. All right, this had 2 tomatoes on it, so I think I'm just going to pick them and sit them inside and see if they'll turn red at all. But I don't want to risk the disease getting to every plant, so I think it's worth it. All right. So this is the one that I had separated from the other main plant. It did have some roots right at the base that I tried to get as many as I could, but I also cut off a lot of the leaves at the lower. I'm going to try to bury it as deep as I can. Okay. And we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. So if you're observant, you will notice the change of clothes and kind of the change in the position of the sun. It was over there last time when we started recording, and now, oh Lord, getting dizzy. Now it's behind us over there. So it is the end of the day. My phone ended up dying, and from the heat, it was too hot for the camera to continue to work. So I worked for a little bit more this morning, finished up working on the tomato bed, and then came over and did some stuff. Got the eggplants. Where are they? Eggplants in the buckets. I don't know. I can't see where I am. But yeah, I got the eggplants also, fertilized. And then I came out this evening and I took the cover off of the squash bed. I might have overplanted it. But I took this cover off the squash bed, and I added in some fertilizer. I put the bone meal in. Actually, I put bone meal on half of them, and then I ran out and I put the Garden Tone slow release fertilizer on the other half. So we'll see what happens with that. Anywho, so my squash plants are looking pretty good. I just wanted you to see what they look like all uncovered in their full glory and stuff, with all the little flowers and everything coming up. So there's lots there. Okay. I don't know if flicking bugs off your plants actually works. Also, my my microphone ran out. So even though I have on one part of it, the other part ran out. So I just came through tonight or this evening and fertilized all of these. I love my snapdragons here. Add a little pop of color, and then there's peppers forming on these plants. These should be all sweet peppers in this bed. Even these is like some kind of sweet pepper. So those are forming there. And then the cucumbers are going along, and then there's just random squashes, and I think that's a watermelon there. Now the only thing that I'm really taking a chance on is the raccoons, because it smells very fishy out here, and if I was a raccoon, I would think that somebody was serving me a fish dinner. So hopefully tomorrow morning when we come back in, or when I come back out, everything will not be dug up. So I think that's it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Sorry for the microphone change. I hope that the sound on this last part works as well. I'm recharging everything right now. I'll go and throw this on the charger too, so that everything works. And I hope that your plants make it through these next few days of heat. Remember to water your plants, take care of them, and remember they are, like you are, resilient, and they will make it through this. So it's going to be okay. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me today, y'all. Happy gardening.